Hello students, this is Srinivas sir. You are watching Untold Botany. I welcome you to MCQ suggested by NTA. Coming to the first question, when a cross is made between offspring and its parents, it is known as. So here parents said but not mentioned whether is it a dominant parent or recessive parent. So a cross between F1 hybrid and it's either of the parents can be considered as backcross. So here monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, backcross, reciprocal cross are given. In that, the appropriate answer is backcross. As you know, backcross is the cross between F1 hybrid and it's either of the parents, either dominant or recessive. If particularly it is recessive, that will become test cross. So here it is not mentioned, hence we can consider this as backcross. Coming to the second question, which of the following is not the function of auxins? Actually, auxins they induce cell elongation, even cell division, and even initiate the root growth. But here, what it is given, fruit ripening is given. Fruit ripening is the function of the ethylene, fruit ripening hormone, ethylene. So here it is asked that which of the following is not the function of auxins. Here, three are the functions of auxins except fruit ripening, which is the function of ethylene. So second is the right answer. The versatile anthers are helpful for. So first we should know whether what it is the versatile anther. Versatile anther is the one to which filament is attached at a point and the anther will be free. It flutters in the air. So the versatile anthers are helpful in anemophily or entomophily or epihydrophily or hypohydrophily. We know anemophily, the pollination that takes place through the wind currents. Yes, exactly, it is the right answer for that, because if it is versatile anther, the filament will flutter in the air so that anther can release the pollen grains. So entomophily and epihydrophily, hydrophily, hypohydrophily are not the appropriate answers. The one is first one. First one is the right answer. The cell wall of the diatoms is made up of. Is it calcium carbonate or silica or magnesium carbonate or calcium phosphate? Actually, it is silica. Actually, cell walls are impregnated with silica, which is indestructible. Hence, after death of the diatoms also, they will not be destroyed by the microbial activity. They get settled at the bottom of the reservoirs, resulting in the formation of diatomaceous earth or kieselguhr. So actually they accumulate at the bottom of the sources. This accumulation over billions of the years results in the formation of diatomaceous earth, which will be used to filter the oils and syrups. So here the cell wall of the diatom is made up of silica. Inulin found in plant cell is. Actually, inulin, is it lipid or protein or polysaccharide or vitamin? So actually inulin is a polysaccharide. Actually smallest polysaccharide, it can be considered as smallest, which is made up of few molecules of fructose. So the monomeric units present in the inulin are fructose. So inulin is a polysaccharide. The cell wall thickening material in collenchyma. So you know collenchyma. Collenchyma is a living mechanical tissue. Actually living or non-mechanical, but it is living mechanical tissue which is present in only dicot stems. So here the cell wall thickening material is, see, once you go through the options, pectin, cellulose, hemicellulose. Second, lignin, cellulose, hemicellulose. Third one, hemicellulose, suberin, cellulose. Fourth one, suberin, pectin, cellulose. Actually, suberin is present in non-living. Lignin also present in non-living. But here, this is living and mechanical. Na? Actually, it is mechanical but living. So here, living cells contain either cellulose or hemicellulose or pectin. So first answer is the right one for this. Pectin, cellulose and hemicellulose. RNA which carry amino acid from the cytoplasm to ribosome. So actually there are three types of RNAs in the cell now. So RNA that carries amino acid from cytoplasm to ribosomes. Actually on ribosomes protein synthesis takes place. So amino acids are transferred from amino acid pole to the site of synthesis by means of mRNA or tRNA or rRNA or cRNA. We know tRNA stands for transfer RNA. The name itself indicates it transfers amino acids from amino acid pole to the site of synthesis. Transfer RNA is the right answer. An example of axial placentation. You know axial placentation. Carpels grow to the center of the ovary, resulting in the formation of a axis. On the central axis, ovules are produced. So here is it present in dianthus or lemon or marigold or argemone. Actually, in dianthus, free central placentation present. In lemon, axial placentation present. This is the right one. And in marigold, basal placentation present. And in argemone, that is parietal placentation. So here the right answer is lemon. Lemon is an example for axial placentation. Drosophila melanogaster has 8 chromosomes, 2n equal to 8, the diploid number of chromosomes 8. In its somatic cells, how many linkage groups will be there? Actually, in any organism, the linkage groups is similar to its genome, its haploid number of chromosomes. So here 2n equal to 8, its haploid number of chromosomes equal to 4, means its genome number is 4. So 4 linkage groups will be present. Here the simple principle is the number of linkage groups in an organism is equal to number of its haploid chromosomes or haploid number of chromosomes. So 2n equal to 8, n equal to 4. So linkage groups are also equal to 4. How many trophic levels are there in a food chain? Actually, in a food chain, trophic levels that is 3 to 4 because producers, primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. So depending on the types of ecosystem, the ranges in between 3 to 4. Minimum 3 or 4 are present. So ovules in Pinus are generally. So Pinus is a gymnospermic plant. So here, in particularly in the Pinus, ovule has single integument, but intern which consists of 3 layers, and that is anatropous ovule. So that is inverted ovule whose body is curved 180 degrees and that consists of a single integument. So anatropous ovule with one integument, that is second answer. Second is the right answer for this. Actually here amphitropous with 3 integuments all other are given, but here anatropous ovule is present in Pinus and that consists of single integument, but the single integument will consist of further 3 layers. So prokaryotic ribosomes are particles about 200 angstrom units diameter consisting of protein and RNA. Yes, the percentage of protein and RNA respectively. So protein percentage is 40. Actually here it is said that prokaryotic means 70s ribosomes. 70s ribosomes are made up of 40% of the proteins and 60% of the RNA. So 40-60. Second is the right answer for this question. So which of the following is the use of biotechnology in modern agriculture? So which of the following is use of the biotechnology? You see, dependence of crops on chemical pesticides has reduced. Yes, of course, it is right answer. Genetic modification has made crops more tolerant to abiotic stresses. Yes, we have seen in the case of basmati rice and Roundup Ready soybean varieties. Uh, and have reduced post-harvest losses. Yes, in the case of flavor saver tomato, we can see this. So here all of the above are the uses of biotechnology in modern agriculture. And coming to this, a transverse section of a plant material shows the following anatomical features under microscope: thick cuticle, sunken stomata, discontinuous sclerenchymatous hypodermis, and armed parenchyma, shaped sclerenchymatous girdle, and two conjoined collateral open type of vascular bundles. Actually, all these are present in a gymnosperm leaf. Here, all are gymnosperms given like Cycas pinus nerium, and it is present in pinus needle. So actually, pinus consists of needle-like leaves. So in the pinus needle, we can see these two vesicular bundles, and all these above said characters are present in pinus needle. So Cry2AB and Cry1AB produce toxins that control. Actually, Cry2AB it controls Cry2AB and 1AC controls the cotton bollworms, whereas the Cry1AB controls the corn borer. So cotton bollworms and corn borer respectively. The first one is the right answer, and here remaining options are wrong. So here we need not to confuse. Just remember Cry 2AB 1AC. Cry 1AC 2AB control the bollworms, whereas the Cry 1AB controls the corn borer. So which of the following are correctly matched? So ethylene thinning of the cotton and cherry and walnut. ABA antagonistic to gibberellic acid. Antagonistic means which shows counteraction. And the cytokinin speed up the malting process in brewing industries. Actually, here gibberellins they speed up the malting process in brewing industries. This is the wrong one. And auxins prevent fruit and leaf drop at early stages. Yes, here except C, all are right. ABC, ABD, ABD. So that is first answer. Except C, AB and D are the correct ones, correctly matched ones, and remaining options are wrong. So the subunits of the protein coat of a virus determines it. Actually, the subunits are nothing but capsomeres. So capsomeres of a protein coat determines its shape. Depending on the capsomeres itself, they get a shape. So here shape is the character which is determined by the arrangement of the subunits. Find out the correct match from the following with respect to Protista. So goniolax, chief producers of the ocean. Actually, diatoms are chief producers of the ocean. Euglenids, stiff cellulose plates in the cell wall. Actually, not in euglenids, but in dinoflagellates, we can see stiff cellulosic plates in the cell wall. Slime molds, formation of plasmodium. Of course, slime molds they form plasmodium. And amoeba parasitic protozoa. No, it is not parasite. So except C, all are wrong. Here what it is asked? Find out the correct match asked. So slime molds are the unicellular organisms whose multinucleated protoplasm is surrounded by only plasma membrane where cell wall is absent, and during the favorable conditions these slime molds undergo an aggregation resulting in the formation of plasmodium. So slime molds forms plasmodium is the right matching. The first plants to appear after a forest fire are the ferns. So this is because of the survival of their. Actually, most of the ferns are rhizomatous. Their stems are rhizomatous. They are planted in the underground. So when forest fires occur, only the aerial portions are burnt, and the underground stem, rhizomatous stem, will be alive. So here rhizomes, because they consist of rhizomes, hence they first appear after burning of the forests. They first appear because of their spores, or because of their leaves, or because of their rhizomes, or both fronds and rhizomes. Actually, fronds are the leaves, they come outside. so they'll be burnt. So only rhizomes are left in the underground, so they help in the pollination. So your answer is rhizomes. uh, which one of the following pair is correctly matched? Anaphase 1, homologous chromosomes are separated. In anaphase 1, homologous chromosomes are separated. Yes, disjunction takes place here. Is the right one. Metaphase 1, pairing of maternal and paternal homologous chromosomes takes place. No. Next, interphase. A nuclear envelope encloses each haploid set of chromosomes. Interphase. A nuclear envelope encloses each haploid set of chromosomes. No, their haploid sets are not formed in interphase. So prophase 1, non-homologous chromosomes are separated. No, all these are the wrong options except one. All are the wrong options. The first one is the right answer. Anaphase 1, their homologous chromosomes are separated. Yes, in anaphase 1, homologous chromosomes are separated through the process known as segregation or disjunction that leads to the reduction in the chromosome number. Yes. So, which of the following would happen if the supply of oxygen is decreased to an illuminated wheat plant? Oh, it is its photosynthesis would decrease, its representation would so its respiration would increase, its photosynthesis would increase, all the physiological processes would stop. Actually, wheat is a monocot plant. Although it is monocot, here in that C3 cycle takes place. So, being a C3 plant, if oxygen is less, the rate of photosynthesis will be increased. If oxygen concentration is increased, that may lead to the photorespiration. So, here oxygen is decreased, that favors the photosynthesis. So, its photosynthesis would increase is the right answer for this question part. The female plant is tetraploid, and a male plant is tetraploid and female plant is diploid. What will be the ploid level of endosperm after fertilization? Actually, as we know, endosperm is developed from PEN, primary endospermic nucleus, which is a resultant of triple fusion. One male gamete fuses with diploid secondary nucleus. So secondary nucleus is of female. Here what is given? Female plant is diploid. So when it is diploid, secondary nucleus will be diploid because two polar nuclei fuse now. So that will be diploid. And one male gamete fuses with secondary nucleus now. Here male gamete will be diploid because the male plant is tetraploid. Tetraploid cell would undergo meiosis that results in the formation of diploid gametes. So diploid male gamete fuses with diploid secondary nucleus, resulting in the formation of tetraploid pen that develops into endosperm. So endosperm ploid will be 4n, this tetraploid. Which of the following feature is responsible to make RNA more liable and easily degradable? Presence of ribose sugar, presence of uracil instead of the thiamine, presence of 2OH group at every nucleotide. Yes, every nucleotide, it has free hydroxyl group on the ribose sugar. So instead, if it is a deoxyribose sugar, only H will be there, but here free hydroxyl group is there. So due to the presence of free hydroxyl group, it is chemically more reactive and less stable. So presence of 2 hydroxyl group at every nucleotide is the reason for the easily degradable nature of the RNA. So storing carbohydrates in the form of polysaccharides has which of the following advantages? So during their formation, many molecules of water are removed from the monosaccharides. Yes, dehydration synthesis. Condensing the bulk to be stored. Yes, Polysaccharides are broken down by enzymes for the release of energy whenever required. Yes, unlike small carbohydrates, polysaccharides are relatively easy to store. Yes, all are right. So all of these are the advantages. So fourth one is the right answer. Which of the following is appropriate for mass flow hypothesis? So transpiration pull is responsible for absorption of ions. Yes, along with water stream they will come. Large amount of